When in 1494 the anti-Medici sentiments grow bigger and the French king with his army enters the city, Michelangelo leaves. He hopes to find refuge in Venice, but there he is denied entrance. Now he sets for Bologna, but on entrance in that city, he is arrested. When Michelangelo enters Bologna, he is asked for a password he can't give. With not a penny in his pocket, he can't pay the fine for that. He must face the city council. Lucky for him, Gianfrancesco Aldovrandi is in that council. Once being a guest of Lorenzo in Florence, he recognizes him and invites him into his house. Aldovrandi is part of a growing humanistic society, and that means evenings with people reading Dante, Petrarch, Boccaccio, and Ariosto, and Michelangelo is a great addition to the group. With his already low voice and Florentine accent, he is much appreciated by the poets and intellectuals in the humanistic circle of Bologna. One day, Gianfrancesco and Michelangelo go see the Basilica and tomb of Saint Domenico. The last sculptor working on this tomb has died, but there are still a few ornaments necessary to complete the tomb. On the left side, a Saint Petronio is incomplete and awaits finishing. The right side is still one candle-bearing angel short, and on the back there is still room for a Saint Proculus. With pleasure, Michelangelo fulfills the request of his host. I would like you to take special notice of Saint Proculus. Does that statue remind you of a work he would make later in life? A year in Bologna goes by. The French king has left Italy, and Florence is now ruled by a Dominican monk named Savonarola. Michelangelo returns to his hometown. Back in Florence, he gets a hold of a fine piece of marble, and now he sculpts a wonderful sleeping Cupid. The original statue is gone, but it must have looked a bit like this copy. As soon as his art agent sees it, he tells Michelangelo the statue should look more antique. That way, it would bring in more money. So, for a few weeks, the statue is buried in the garden, and indeed, it is sold quite fast to a certain cardinal, Raffaello Riario, in Rome. But the cardinal soon discovers he didn't buy a real antique. Instead of being very angry, he recognizes the talent of the maker, and after some research, he finds Michelangelo. This cardinal is very influential and summons Michelangelo to come to Rome. He is forgiven for the deceit, and the cardinal houses him in his impressive new palazzo. He pledges Michelangelo shall get a large piece of marble to make a statue for his palazzo. But month after month goes by and no commission comes in. Michelangelo gets restless. His father keeps asking for money he doesn't have. He finds out his art agent has tricked him. The Cupid was sold for 200 ducats, and Michelangelo was only paid 40. He begins to get very angry with the world, and in secret he is already preparing to leave Rome and go back to Florence. But finally, Riario tells Michelangelo to make a Bacchus for his new palazzo, and Michelangelo makes him a beautiful, somewhat inebriated wine god. A satyr holds on to him, eats grapes, and clearly enjoys himself too. This Bacchus is not athletic at all. His belly is bulging a bit, and we see him enjoying the sweet wine he holds in a cup a bit too much. Michelangelo is glad and proud to show the result to the cardinal, but much to his surprise, it is rejected. Riario deems the statue to be too drunk. Michelangelo is devastated. But luckily, his friend Jacopo Galli, who is also the cardinal's banker, loves it, and he buys it. He puts his Bacchus in the Galli garden together with several other semi-classical statues. Lots of influential men see the work, and that leads to a commission that will change his life forever. A French cardinal commissions a Pietà with Michelangelo. It is 1498 when the work begins, in a small house in the Via dei Fornari, opposite the church of Santa Maria di Loreno. At the age of 23, Michelangelo starts with his first Pietà. It'll make him famous all over Italy.